Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. I was working on this song yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and just play it, and then I think I'm gonna keep working on it. There's a couple other ones that I was working on. I think this will be just to tidy it up. Well, let's check it out. Really like the sound of that. I haven't listened to it since I worked on it yesterday, and that actually sounds better than I remember. I'm not quite sure what else to do. I think it's actually quite fleshed out. At least this would be like the first drop. Might need to work a bit on an intro, and then just go into a second verse, I think is what I'll do. But it's off to a pretty good start. Welcome to whoever just joined. Just doing a bit of tidying work on the track. I'm terrible at labeling things, but while I'm labeling them, I'll just play it from the start. I wonder if we can thicken this out a bit, because the low ends are cut out right here on the bass at the kind of when it has a little bit of a switch, so. And that gives the second little drop right here a little bit of punch. So, I wonder if we can be a little bit creative here. What I'm gonna do is add in back some of the low end on these little piano fills. It'll sound like this. That might not even be noticeable, but it just adds a little thickness and a little more texture, I think, to that sound. So I'm gonna just do that. Now I just need to figure out in which direction to take the song. What I think I'll do is double this section here. Let's see. Take out this part, including the claps. I'll move that out of the way too. And let's get creative with the vocals. I'm gonna try out a couple things. They may not necessarily work, but that's just how music making goes. You try out a lot of things. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they do. So I'm gonna do this neat trick. Actually, let's just put this on a separate track because I'm gonna be having to do quite a bit of work on it. And I want it to be separate. So we have this track right here. And what you do is you go to texture. You wanna slow it down like 4 times over, probably. And then increase flux to 100, and then the grain size you play with. What you do is, does this have... Let's see, let's put on the side chain. Just see what this sounds like. It's gonna sound kind of weird. Now I'm gonna add a snare riser. So let's see, we are in E minor. Not a big deal if the drums are not in key, but I use this sample pack from XLNT. They actually label their drums by key, and so it's helpful. Just, I think, makes it sound a little bit cleaner, but they're drums. They don't necessarily have to be in key. We'll do a bunch of neat tricks on this too to make it sound like it's rising. Make that go all the way. Actually, you know what? Did that a little bit wrong. Like to just lower the velocity a bit. Let's see how that sounds. Even less dramatically. Adds a little bit of rhythm to it. Do that all the way out. And you can also add in a pitch bend. You start it at the lowest and you make it rise to the highest. All right, now I think we can start working on the second verse. Realizing I don't have a riser, which I think I'm going to want to add in just to help blend stuff together. Let's just see if I have any risers in E minor. So we're going to go to splice here. See if I have anything in E. Can't hear anything. You know, splice's like desktop functionality, kind of subpar. Ooh, you just lose my screen? I think you may have. Hold on. Let's edit that. There we go. Apologies for that. I just have to shut down Splice and restart it. This happens all too often. I'll play this in the background while I work on it. Oh, one thing I meant to do actually last time before I forgot was to... Oh good, it is sidechained. I thought it maybe wasn't. Never mind. Okay, so let's go over to Splice. Same thing. Wow, what is going on with splice? All right, well, let's see if this works. And we want risers. You know what? I think it's just my own audio, it looks like. Let's try this out. Oh, I like that one. See if we can fit it in. We'll put it in at the first drop and then potentially use it in the chorus itself. Oh, interesting. That one's slowed down. Nope, don't like that one. Not a fan of those. I'm gonna just stick with some type of sweep then. Some neutral sounding thing. Let's play around with the drums a little bit. Add this auto filter. Actually, let's do it like from here. I want to add some type of, there has to be another element that's not already in the song. There needs to be something else. I need to figure out what that is. So I'm going to just play around with some sounds and see what I can add in. Way too ravey. You know what actually could be an interesting element? I got this virtual instrument a week or two ago. I actually haven't used it as much. Don't know if I should have gotten it, but they just launched it, and it's like the premier acid synth, plugin. And because it just got released, it was 50% off, and so I actually got it. May not have needed to. Let's see, what do we want to play with? Let's just go to all presets. We know we want to be in E, so let's. They're all super funky. That one, the first one, that one might be good. And so what you can do is, we obviously like that sound, right? The E key. So you can go to advanced. I'm going, nope. Let's lock the sequence. And so that just keeps the actual note, not the notes, but the where the notes are, it keeps that the same. And then you can change the sound of the instrument. But I really like this rhythm. And so let's stick with that. I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's make this an 8-bar loop. Make it the E key. We're obviously going to have to mix it in. First step is to take out the low, because we don't want it to clash with the bass. We're going to take the vocals as well. Let's actually start them like this. This one needs its own auto filter. So this one can also kind of smooth its way in. Even less than that, let's try. That is not right. We want the acid to cut out. We don't want it to bleed over to the drop. So let's mute the speaker. So we want to make the second drop different from the first. And to do that, there's like several things you can do. In this case, I've at minimum stripped it down so it doesn't have all the drums coming in until later. That's a good thing to do for the second drop. You can also just add another element, which I think I'm going to try to do. And I don't know what that can be. That might just be as simple as like a single like stab element, or it could be a bit more creative, kind of like if you think of like a Fisher style drop of like some synth that moves a couple of notes, and then when it cuts, the drums come back in. But we're gonna maybe find something right in the middle between those two. Maybe if you look at it on a spectrum, it's right in the middle. So let's see what this one sounds like. And I'm gonna do the Rave Generator, which is this free plugin, which is fantastic. And what I like about it is it sounds very old school house. And so when you have a track like the one I'm working on, you kind of want that old like 80s 90s feel for a track. This is it's probably the best free plugin to use for those kinds of sounds. This might take a second. It's not the most user friendly, so I'm gonna probably just scroll through all these sounds and test them out and see what sounds best. I think I need to go up an octave. Ooh, that doesn't actually sound terrible. Let's see. Let's cut out the lows. It doesn't mash with the bass. Oh, yeah, but see, it just doesn't quite work with the other synth. These all tend to be a bit detuned as well, and so sometimes it's hard to fit them into a track if they're not the primary element. If you have another synth, but this one is detuned, it just clashes because it sounds like it's out of key. If you use these as like a primary element of a song, though, it can have some really cool, a really cool sound. When you do house stab with the Playboy stab, sometimes it sounds good. Again, it might be just needs another octave. That does not sound good. Let's just try one single extended note. I find that CRM just typically works better for this. We just went with some traditional sounding drop, kind of boring. Ooh, loud. Sorry about that.
Turn this upside down. Turn this upside down. Turn this upside down. Turn this upside down.
When I hit a snag like this and I just can't really find inspiration. Sometimes what I do is I just go to Splice and literally just look up either FX, like effects drops or synth drops in the key that I'm using. So let's just do that with synths. Go to E minor. We want house. I always do random. You don't, or maybe you do want, maybe you do want to see what other people are doing, but I like to try to find sounds that maybe aren't as common. So I always hit the random option on Splice. Be a lot of subs and basses. It's a cool sound. I'm gonna save that, but not for this song. Other cool sound. See, it could be as simple as just that little stab, I think. Maybe. Let's save that sound. But I think we could probably do better. Sorry, it keeps doing that with the window. Get away from there. That one might be too much.
Upside down.
Yeah. I think that's too much. Haven't made Slap House in a long time. Ooh. Again, not for this song. That's funky. Oh, hey, Dynamic Mid. Thank you so much for following. I appreciate it. You're my 4th one ever. It means a lot. Feel free to say anything in the chat room if you have any suggestions for what I should do for this song or for anything else. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good morning. That one could be simple enough, but it's perhaps noticeable. Sorry, I just wanted to listen to that one again. That was good. Okay, let's see.
Upside down.
Oh, might just be too simple. I'm potentially looking for the impossible here. I might just end up leaving the track as is in terms of this part right here. But I think there should be another element that fits in. I like to describe my music making method as somewhat brute force, and that just means I try a lot of different sounds because sometimes stuff just doesn't come to me. I like to think I have a fairly good ear for house, but for stuff like this, sometimes you don't know what sounds good until you actually hear it. And to find that sound, you got to look for a long time or play around for a while. But it's part of the fun of the process. And in the meantime, you find other really cool sounds. And in fact, this song itself came about because I was working on another track in E minor, and I was looking for some drop vocal, I think, just something to play like right here before the song hit the drop itself. And I found this vocal, the upside down one, which is the basis of this song. And that was because I was working on a completely different song. And so that's the beauty of working on a track like this, and you're just looking for sounds or playing around with sounds, that you end up developing one that you're like, oh my God, this could completely work in a completely different track. That's just how creativity goes. So I never get upset when it takes me a while to find a sound that fits into this song, because there's a lot of benefits that come from it for this track and for other tracks that come. With that in mind, let's keep plugging away and trying to find a sound for that drop. Cool sound.
Turn this upside down.
So it might have too much sauce on it. I want to add a delay, honestly. I think we can do better, but let's stick with. I think we can do better than that, but we're going to leave that in as a placeholder. So that might be okay. Oh, I actually had an idea. It was this triggered the thought. That little sound, what you can do, let's just do it. Let's do it on Serum. A little bit easier to work with than Rave Generator. What you do is you just do like 2 quick stabs, like that. This is going to sound not good, but I'm going to find an instrument that hopefully mixes well with the rest of the track. What do you do? Can you do that? Okay, and then let's find an instrument. Huh.
Upside down.
Could be onto something. I don't know if that's it. Nah. Just doesn't sound quite right. Might need a different instrument. This one's got quite a bit of detune. No, it's actually not detune, it just has unison. No, let's use rave generator. Since it's a stab, it could be somewhat forgiving in the actual sound that we end up using. Yeah, like something like simple like that. Probably want to pretty heavily reverb it. Cut out the highs. In fact, we even lower it an octave. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's compare it to this. I might just stick with that. Honestly, I might be doing too much. Sometimes the simpler things the better, so it doesn't muddy the mix. Let's listen to the whole drop. I'm also not completely pleased with this snare riser. I think I'm gonna have to come back and change it. Yeah, it sounds a little off. Could be the snare itself or the rhythm.
Upside down.
I'm doing too much here. But it still doesn't sound complete to me. And I'm not happy with it. We're gonna do the most simple thing you can do. A single note. Bear with me, bear with me. Put sidechain on it. A little bit of reverb as well. Obviously cut out the lows. Don't want it to clash with the bass. If you notice what I'm doing here with this number 3 all the time, I'm just lowering it right around here. So it gives some space in the track for, one, the vocals, importantly, to breathe, because that's kind of where they dominate. The vocal dominates right here in these frequencies, but also the other synth elements. You want it to be a balanced mix. You don't want everything to be playing at the same frequency, then it clashes and it muddies the mix. That's what people say when it's muddy. I'm still not very good at mixing, or definitely not mastering to make sure those frequencies don't clash, but I have some understanding of it. You can kind of tell when you listen on headphones as well when it is clashing. What I like to do whenever I play like a long note like this is you just pitch bend like the last little bit. All right, now let's find an instrument for this synth. We'll have to do a little bit more work on it. I like this tight saw. Where is it? And I'm gonna actually start the pitch bend earlier, I think. Add more dynamic feel to it. And it's got to have a bit more punch when it kind of like when the claps and the closed hats come in. You can do that by adding a crash. Here. Whoa, where did my cursor go? Quiet that down. Okay, I'm gonna delete these two because I think I'm gonna not use them. I'm still not content with this synth, but I think I'm on the right track. Let's add more pitch to it.
Upside down.
Okay, not content with the actual sound of the instrument, but it actually sounds decent. We're gonna have to do some playing around here, I think.
Upside down.
All right, let's listen to it from the top. So we hear that drop with a little bit of fresh ears. Or not from the top, let's just listen from the previous chorus.
Upside down.
I like that. I'm actually not thrilled with the break listening to it on the second time around. So we'll do yet another trick. There's this synth bass thing that I like. Here we go. Nope, not that one. Yeah, some Reese bass. It's actually from a bass house pack. I think it's the first pack I ever bought from the producer school. They got some cool tutorials online if you're interested in music making. I think Yannick is one of the guys' names. It's quite helpful. I used to look at their tutorials quite a bit. You know what? Let's actually make this a 16 bar. I'm going to do it basically the entire break. It's gonna be super long. Sorry if you can hear those sirens in the back. I don't know what's going on. I live kind of in like the root of a hospital, like close-ish to the hospital. And my street happens to be the most direct way because it's a one-way. And so I get lots of sirens late at night. Ooh. Yes. Might not need sidechain. I might want to keep it as is. You can do lots of cool little tricks here. So you want it to play quite long. This is not, I mean, even longer than this maybe. No, maybe not that long, but let's do that here. And then this might not work, but I'm gonna do some portamento. And that like adds a gliding effect. I'll just isolate the synth. You hear that a lot in slat bass or like bass house tracks, that they add that kind of sliding sound on a lot of the breaks when they're not actually playing the super like plucky bass. They fill in with a respace, and that's what they do. It's actually really good for like intros and breaks and stuff. It just doesn't really come up a lot in tech house. I'm gonna let this one play a bit longer. But yeah, so you want the notes to actually overlap, and in that instance, I might be doing this wrong. Yeah, it's in. You don't want it in mono. I wasn't even gliding. Probably a bit more attack. No, too much. It's just, again, sometimes simpler is better. We'll just leave it without. The note is playing early, like before. It's not playing directly on the 3 or the 5 or whatever, and that adds a little more human rhythm to the track as well. So we're gonna do that, and then probably back to G. Actually, let's go up. And then perhaps here. Here, just listen to this. I have the bass playing up here. I may completely elevate it. What is this? 296. Actually, why didn't I just do it the same thing here? What did I do? Did it go even 1 octave lower? Ooh. Sorry, just cut out there. You guys still with me? Sorry about that. Glitched out. I'm just using a laptop to do this, so it's not necessarily the fastest. And that happens every once in a while. Okay. Dare I play it again, or is it gonna crash? Alright, it seems fine. So what I was doing actually is the root note here is E. And so what I want to do to just accent the drop even more is, you'll notice I don't play this little part again and this part of the drop over here, or this part of the synth, I should say. Because what I'm going to do is just play the root note, but then pitch it up, and that's going to make the effect, it's going to make it sound like it's another riser, basically. This could work. Let's see.
Upside down.
That's good.
Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down. Upside down.
Use an auto filter as well, and I'll modulate it. It'd be an interesting auto filter because it's such a low sound. I don't even know if you can hear it if you're playing it on speakers, or even like on earbuds. I don't know if it will come through, but seems like it's in a good place. So what I like to do with a lot of my tracks is I'll work on them for quite a bit, but it takes fresh ears to know if they're good or not, or where there are mistakes or where it can be improved upon. And so I usually like leave the track for like a day, or I'll listen to it like later in the day. I'll like put it onto my phone and then just listen to it with like AirPods to see how it sounds when I listen to it that way. And that usually gives me ideas of things that need to be fixed. But right now it's too recent, so I don't know what sounds good or not. What that means is I think I might just try to potentially work on a new track before, especially with some of the sounds I ended up finding when I was looking for some of the samples for this drop. Before I do that, do you want to play for you another one I was working on yesterday? I don't think I'll finish this one. It sounds okay, but if you want to hear it, I'll play it regardless. If it loads, okay. Actually sounds better than I remember from yesterday. Don't know if I'm going to continue on that one, but let's start a new one. This is my plague. I never finish tracks and always start new ones. But let's look at Splice and see what we found, and see if I want to use any of these elements for a new track. Already got an idea. Start putting stuff together. That's at 128. Let's speed it up. Go back to Splice. Put the drum down, and then let's listen to this. instead of starting with just a traditional clap, I'm going to put in a snap, and then we'll layer claps over it. The snap just adds a little bit of, it's a clean sound, super short sound, but especially with tracks like this that actually sound very groovy, it makes it adds, it's all about texturing and layering, and it adds to the texture and the vibe of the song. You want to, this, I'm using kind of this as my main element of the song. And so you got to work with that. And I think the snap sounds quite good. And I want a pretty raw sounding clap. Something like very natural. Short, pretty snappy as well, but natural. Again, playing with that root sound and using it to your advantage, and using that as your reference point for how the other elements should sound. Don't like that one. It's quite a long hi-hat, open hat. What happens if I put some side chain on this? Okay, let's do some modulation, or just some editing and mixing on the closed hats. Already got some groove to them. I'm gonna pan them so they shoot to either, they switch between both ears. Then I like to do this thing with, where's the LFO? Here we go. Go to random. You don't want it to be aligned to the hertz. You want it to be aligned to like the beat or the rhythm of the song. I'm gonna go to 1/16, lower the depth. And so that just adds randomness to each time the sound hits. And so that adds yet another human texturing to the sound of the closed hats. Let's pan it a bit more. I haven't even added a bass line in yet, which I'm going to do next. But first, let's convert this sound bit to a melody, just see what comes out. Sometimes this can be helpful just to add other interesting little elements to the song. Sounds horribly incorrect. Not going to use that. Always helpful to check. Save some time if you want to duplicate the sound sample. So what is this? We're still in E minor. So we will do that. And let's just find a basic bass sound. So we have a reference point for what it sounds like. Let me go down one more. All right, I'm gonna look for some sample vocals. And so I often use Splice, but that's also the most popular and most common one. I have all these credits on Lander, which is another website, music website, and I think I have the credits because I bought some like AI mastering thing from them. And I actually didn't know I had this. I didn't know it came with whatever I purchased for like a lot of months after I purchased the mastering software. But I've actually come across this, and it's pretty nice because people don't use it as much. So you can find some really cool vocals or cool samples that other people, just like other songs, don't have. Because this is not as popular as Splice. There is some overlap between the two, but I mean, I have almost 1,200 credits, I think, to use on Lander, and so I don't know. I find it helpful to use this one. But let's find some vocals. I am 128 BPM.
Yeah.
Ooh, dare we do Stutter House on this?
I got my city and I know my city.
Code entwined.
Bro, I feel like I am.
Binary with
I can barely sleep. I've been over. It's still moving, still.
music.
Get it, girl, back.
I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so wrong. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. Thought it was love, but it's over now.
You don't have to talk too much, I only learn to add the
Let's play around with that vocal. But I need to find the dry version.
I thought I was lost till I found. Built me up and broke, and I know, 'cause you built me up and broke me down. Maybe I was blind, maybe naive, till I found your arms. Oh, no, I know I'm probably bad. Maybe I was blind,
work on these vocals.
I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't. I thought I was lost till I found your arms.
Put some OTT on it.
I thought I was lost till I found your arms.
Quite a bit of background noise. To filter that out.
I thought. I thought. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so wrong. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know. Arms. 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 I didn't know I could be so wrong. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so
Hey, Offhand Chi. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the stuff. Let me know if you have any thoughts down in the chat. Anything for this song or any future ideas. I appreciate it. Appreciate the follow.
I got my city and I know my
Binary.
What BPM did it say this was? 110. Thinking of adding maybe like guitar element to the third block, like right here. Something different from the previous two. Might be able to find a better one. Let's keep looking. I'm liking how that one is sounding. I might take a quick break from it just to listen to what we were working on previously. See how that sounds to the fresh ear. Take a while to load just because it's a big file. Here we go. Oh, that's not the right one. That was from a couple days ago. You want it upside down. Ooh, it's loud. I think I'm gonna stick with this MK sample instead of the snare I made.
Turn this upside down. Turn this upside down.
This is why you want fresh ears. There's little things here or there that I think sound wrong, or I need to change a little bit. For example, I'm not a big fan of the synth right here. Doesn't sound quite right, and I think this one might need to be pitched up here, this sample, so let's test that out. Yeah, there we go.
Turn this upside down.
Let's go back to the previous one. Just want to listen to that.
I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so wrong. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. Thought it was over, but it's over now. How did I see it? Oh, I can't believe it.
Need a longer intro for sure.
I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so wrong. 'Cause you built me up. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. Be so wrong. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so wrong. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. Thought it was over, but it's over now. How did I see it? Oh, I can't believe it's so wrong. 'Cause you built me up and broke me down. Thought it was over, but it's over now. How did I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so wrong. 'Cause you built me up and broke. I thought I was lost till I found. I thought I was lost till I found your arms. I thought I was lost thought I was lost till I found your arms. I didn't know I could be so cause you built me up and broke me down. Thought it would
I might try to put in some spoken word like right at the beginning. Might work out. Might be a little contrived, but let's see.
Starting connection.
You hate it, you lived it.
This one's in key too.
Leave your worries.
Let's try it out.
Old story so vivid. The moment you hate it, you lived it. Old story so vivid. The moment you hate it, you lived it. Old story so vivid. The moment you hate it, you lived it. Old story so vivid. The moment you hate it, you lived it. Old story so vivid. The moment you hate it, you lived it.
Switch out the rides. Just now realizing they're very tinny. All right. I'm going to play the other song through real quick, and then I'm probably going to call it there for the stream. Let's let it load. We'll give it a listen, do any edits that feel appropriate, and then we'll leave it there. Let's give it a listen.
Upside down. Upside down. Upside down.
All right, I think I'm gonna leave it there for today. I'm pretty happy with both this one and the previous track. I'm gonna have to overcome my greatest weakness of not finishing tracks and actually try to finish those two up. But I think that was a pretty productive stream. I'm gonna try to get a more set schedule going. As of now, I think every Thursday is gonna be, without a doubt, that's when I'll be able to stream in the morning. Otherwise, it's gonna be probably like Monday or Tuesday. I'll make something more regular so it's more predictable. But thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the tracks. And if you did, let me know, and I'll incentivize me to finish them up. But I appreciate the support. All right, see everyone next time.